Hello and warm welcome to the Light from North and the Hero's Journey. Today, I have with me my dear brother, Lex van Someren. Welcome, Lex.
Yeah, I thank you very much for the invitation. Tack så mycket. Yeah.
So Lex is from Germany, but have lived in Norway a few years, so he can speak a little bit Swedish, Norwegian.
Yeah, I am originally from Holland,
Okay.
but I live since 27 years. I live in Germany, South Germany, and before that, from 1985 till 93, I lived 8 years in Norway. So
right.
I love Scandinavia.
Yeah. Okay.
I've been to Sweden also. Yeah.
So Lex, to summarize your journey, we're going to need this hour plus to go through your hero's journey. And for you who are here listening in, you are in for a treat, because this is so dear to my heart, and how I bumped into Lex, your work. And well, to summarize it, we have a few teachers in common on our path in the back. One of them is, of course, Ramdas. And then, of course, also the hero's journey with many other fantastic teachers. So we will come into all of those. But I think most importantly, I could summarize you in 2 words. You are a bliss master.
Wow. Wow. Thank
Focusing on those energies that put us in that state of bliss, yes, and how important that is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's my focus. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you that you acknowledge that. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So Lex creates amazing music that really touch our soul in that deepest inner room, and awaken our spirit, and just experience that floating, flittering, awakening bliss energies. So we will talk a little bit more about that. And what do you say? Could we maybe end with something you could share? Do you have your mic set up so you can end with maybe a mantra or something?
No, okay. I don't. Then but I can give links yes, to my live streams, because every week at the moment I do 2 live stream mantra concerts. Yes. So I can give some links. So tonight I do live tonight. So so I can give some links that people can get an experience. Yes.
Yeah, because that's what I'm on here with these talks. We first understand it, get the mental aha, I understand it, but what is that compared to getting it in our body and experience it?
Yeah, but first, the mind needs to be to give permission.
Yeah.
To allow really to open up and feel. Huh?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So I have made a little chart to explain this amazing transformational shift that the whole of humanity are in. So I just want to share that and talk about that for a minute or two. And here it is. So on this screen now, you see a little child in the bottom of the screen standing here with a cross in the road. To the left, we have the dark agenda that wants to put us down in our lower frequencies, lower energies, and just go into a very dark future with ego mind. And this is actually into transhumanism. So when we go into that lower frequencies, we base our whole life out of fear. So we are in fear and force mode, and we make all our decisions from that because we're scared. And with the propaganda going on now in the world with this so-called pandemic, which is also named plandemic, we have many, even now, family and friends that are taking this because they're there. And many of us are really heartbroken because we know what's in there, we know the agenda, and we want to reach them and say, hold off, wait, let the results speak for themselves, and let the truth come out first before you are a guinea pig of this agenda. But many are so afraid, so they don't wait, they do it anyway. So anyway, every word you see here on the left has a counter on the right. And on the right side, you see us, you see yourself. This is how we are. This is how we came into this world. And then slowly and surely, the system has made us, put us more into the left. But now we're in this great awakening that we're waking up to our true self. And this is also a big shift of awakening our so-called junk DNA inside of us that has much more higher abilities of spiritual abilities. And that puts us in what's called the fifth dimension, where we base our life through our heart. We are connected to our soul, and our heart is open, so we are also in our power. So everything is in place. So if you look at the left side versus the right side, you see correspondence, every word. And this is attributes from a non-awakened being to an awakened being, and you can go on hundreds and hundreds of hundreds. So we will do our best to awaken this through this talk, and how we can shift and make this shift more pleasant. So, dear Lex, back to you. Now, in this hero's journey, it's based in 3 big chapters. So Joseph Campbell was a fantastic teacher who went through amazing deep study, finding out that all masters on this planet that we know of and all teachers that we don't know of have the same journey. And he called that the hero's journey. So yeah, we're going to go through your hero's journey now, starting with the first chapter, which is the separation. So we all have a point in our life where we just wake up to this, that is something wrong with the world, and we're so sad inside and we can't really put our finger on what it is, but we know something is wrong. And here we go, we are separated from our tribe and we are off finding the truth. So please share with us what happened to you.
Yeah, thank you. Joseph Campbell is really a master for me, one of my teachers, and a great inspiration. His work of his mythology work and the hero's journey work. For me, this started more than 40 years ago. I was around 27. Before that, I started working in society. I had done my studies, sport, physical education, sports. So I was a highly trained teacher, and I went into schools, and I really looked forward to work with the children, with the young people, and with sports and movement, and I really enjoyed that. But after 2 years, I was completely exhausted of the system, of the school system. And it was not the children, because it was the system that I, as a special teacher, I had every hour another 30 children. So in 1 week, the first year, I had 600 children a week. So I saw and then I choose for the next year around I changed it, 400 children, but it exhausted me completely. And I saw that this system is completely sick. And I felt I have to go out of it. And it was at the same time my spiritual awakening was happening. So it was together. And it was actually my mother that that was already on a spiritual awakening path, and she showed me some things, a few books, and then a meditation course, and that was the moment came to decide, I go out of the system. I cannot do this anymore. I had a good job, earned good money and everything. So my father thought I was crazy to do this. And I said, I go out of it. I feel I want to find my true path of my heart. I want to follow what I feel in my heart. Yeah. And so I went to different spiritual communities. I went to Scotland in Fintor, and that was a great teacher moment in my life. Yeah. Later, I came to Osho. Osho is the greatest master for me in my life. And there, an enormous transformation happened with me. That was in 1980. So it is more than 40 years ago that it started. And it was tough because I told you, my father, he didn't understand anything. My mother supported it. She could understand me and she supported it. But so it was, of course, it was the separation and going out of the society. And I went on a journey to find my way, to find myself also. So it was find the true spiritual way of living on this earth. And then I recognized I have to find myself first again, because I lost a lot of myself in the way from little child to being an adult. So, and that was a tough journey to survive. I learned very early then to trust and have faith, and that God and life existence will take care of me if I can be true to my heart as much as I can. And that's what I did. And I started to be confirmed every time again that if you follow the path of faith and trust and you follow your heart, life or God, existence is always supporting you in some way, unexpected ways. Yes. Unexpected ways, not the mind ways. So I have an experience now of more than 40 years living on trust and faith and not knowing how much money I will have the next month or earn next month. That's natural. That's now natural to me because of such a long time of experience with it. So, but it was of course hard because society is all the time, outside world is all the time trying to push you into the 3D and into these strict rules, and keep you low in your energy. So that was how it started for me, and from then on, soon I started to have revelations, inner revelations. I did therapy for myself, and I did some reincarnation, past life sessions, and I got very powerful visions about my background from other times and why I'm here now. What is I got visions of what my purpose in life, what my bliss is in life, or what I have to do, why I'm here, to serve people, to be kind of a guide for people. And I had to find my way in that, to become a teacher, to become a musician, an artist. Yeah. Yep. When I went to Osho in Pune in India in 1980, this teacher, I did so much therapy and dancing and singing there every day, and there I was reconnected with the child in me, with the inner child, the deep inner child, which I felt is so creative, so artistic, And when I was there, I knew this is going to be my life. I have to go for it. I have to be an artist in some way with music, movement, clown. So after that, I went home, I went back to Europe, and it started to evolve. So I started to explore what is my way. And so from there I went. So that's the beginning.
That was a lot of the beginning. Thank you so much. And what a journey. What a journey. Okay, so I want to stick around with the separation a little bit to also talk about the collective separation. That after you've been through your own, you see and understand the collective separation so much better. So can you also speak a little bit about that?
Can you explain to me, what do you mean with the collective separation? Me feeling separated from the collective, or how you mean it? Can you explain?
Actually, yeah, very true, both. But it's that you see that, you see, since I get a lot of questions about this, when we're in the system, and you don't listen to your body when you get energy drained. We have this new phenomenon since 20, 30 years back that it's called going into the wall, right? And when you go into the wall, you need to go to the psychiatry and get antidepressant pills and, you know, get sick leave, right? So you have a long journey now being sick and being sad, and then you come back as a zombie to the system again, because now your energy is good enough, so now you can start working again. But you took the step out, and those who step out from the tribe are often seen as the black sheep, or that you're a little bit crazy going to India to a spiritual master and all of that. But actually it's the minority, those of us who actually left the system, left the whole thing, and that can, from an observer view, look at the whole system, look at whole humanity, that whole humanity are manipulated into the system, right? So can you speak about your insights about this? Yeah.
Very good. Yes. I stepped out of it, and I traveled around the world to different spiritual communities, etc. And I got inspiration and teaching. I learned a lot. And on the journey in the first years, I understood also that I had to work very hard on myself first to clear and to clear up the separation that I had created in myself, and that was put upon me. That is going to be put upon us in our education, in from our parents and etc. So the separation from myself, I recognized I have to work on me. And with all the visions and ambitions I had as an artist, and what I saw for the world, I was all the time, I saw how wrong things were going in the world and how much separation. But I was always coming to that wall of Lex, or the mirror. Lex, you cannot go, you cannot influence, do something if you are not completely healed and pure. So although I worked in all those years, because it took me about 30 years to completely being fully pure and light and awakened again. So it was a long journey for me, by working, doing beautiful work in combination with work in my inner work and healing, having support from therapists, from teachers, masters. So it was a combination for me. And because of my inner work, and because of getting to know my own blocks and on my own ego aspects and my own separation of parts of my soul that I had to bring back to me, parts of my soul that were split off like the inner child, etc. That's what we usually then do with painful situations as a child. So to get that all back into me, I could see and feel much better how the whole society is in separation, and what most people do. Most people didn't have, at the moment, a lot of people get encouraged, but I saw all those years, the most people don't have the courage, even if they feel I would like to have a freer, another life, to get out of the system. And they get sick, and then either, like you described, you know, physical illnesses, psychic illnesses, depression, etc. So in the last 25 years, I have given, I'm really also working intensively as a teacher, and that is healing work. I do a lot of deep healing work with people. Sorry, I have something in my throat.
No worries.
Yeah.
No worries.
And in that work, I have been becoming aware of that kind of separating that people do. They go into the wall, yeah. And but they don't go through it. And so yes, I can. So my work has been with people to encourage them to really step out of things that make them unhappy, and work on themselves to become connected with their soul dimension again, and their heart, their feelings, so that they can start to make decisions from there, and not from the outside world that tells them how to be, how to do, and what to do. So yes, so it is it has so much to do with separation. Sorry.
No worries.
I take something in my mouth here.
Yeah. So thank you for sharing that. And this is so important to feel, because there's so many that feel this disconnection, but they are so afraid of talking about it, and you know, being courageous enough to speak about it to family and friends and to work colleagues. There's so many that are silent, and they just keep it because it's also, you invested maybe, you know, a long journey of education coming to your position in life, and to give all that up, I mean, it's a big one.
It's a big one, but it is the most beautiful one, if you really do it.
Yep.
Because at my time, when I was young, 27, 26, to make that decision, I had a good life, and you know, good money and so, and good for the future, secure road to go. But it was so good to do this, so freeing, and it gave me so much freedom. And of course, I needed, on every step, I needed courage to say, yes, I go for it. And all the people that think I'm crazy, you know, the society, I go for it. And what we are living in now, because this, I'm talking about 40 years ago or longer, now, and at the one point it is now much easier. At the other point, it's much more difficult. I want to explain that, to get out of this. It's much easier now because the whole universe is wanting this planet Earth to awake to fifth dimension. So there is so much energy now on this planet and coming through us, that all support, when you take the decision to go for your heart and step out of that old system, the matrix, where you have your job or whatever. If you do it, you will be supported on all sides, for divine God support from your spirit guides. So I have seen that by people in my around me, that made these decisions in the last few years. And I've seen, and I said to them, I told them, take this, go for it. Get out of that old system, because I see it makes you ill. It makes you completely sick. Go out of it. And you cannot know, when you make the decision, you cannot know what comes after. That's the tricky part of it. First, if you have made a decision, the door opens, a new door. You close the door, and then the new door opens. And what I've been seeing with people around me is that in a matter of short time, bang, it is happening, and it works for them. That's what they want. It's working. The whole universe, the life energy is supporting now that we get out of this old sick system, this corrupt system on the earth, and go into love, into our hearts, into compassion, into the awakening, into a beautiful life in harmony with each other. We are going to create paradise on this earth. Yes. That's what the universe wants, the God wants to happen for this planet at the moment. So that is going to be supported. But it is more difficult at the moment is that the sides, the separation, the different, so the 3D and the 5D energies, they are so against each other. This is at the moment. I feel at the moment is also for me, it's so hard to see the suffering and see how extreme they are holding on to that old thing, and then they want to get the thing in their arms, and it's even getting worse and worse if you do that. So it's very difficult for many people at the moment, because so many people feel that they want to go for their heart, but it's difficult. So every time, wherever I can, I tell people, go for it. It's the energies are there, so much light energy at the moment, and because of all this light energy and the whole dark matrix is gone around the planet, because of this, we feel and we see now all the dark sides, the corruption, the unbelievable corruption, and that we have lived in. And we see in all the lies that we have lived with, and how corrupt the whole system and our governments were and are. And now it's all so obvious. It's so obvious. So why not take now the decision? Now I go. That's what our challenge is. The challenge for not for me anymore, but for many people to say, and now it's enough. I go for my own life. And yes, if you go for it, of course, you have to work on yourself. You have to go inside yourself and then look at all the pains and traumas that you have collected or have gotten through your life, especially in the small childhood. And we have to heal them. We have to take them in our hearts, and we have to heal ourselves to become whole again. And that we do through feeling our old hurts and traumas. We have to feel them, because only then we can own them. And that's the essential separation on the planet. The collective separation is the separation of ourselves, our true soul. And that is so immense. And that's why this craziness can happen around us, this separation, because so many people are still separated from their own soul. So that's the journey, that's the hero's journey that we all have to go now, to go and find the connection again, and heal the separation with our own inner self. And I must always tell people it is not easy. It is not an easy road, but it's so valuable. It's so beautiful if you do it. On my path of 30 years, took me a long time to dissolve really all my ego aspects and to heal my traumas. It was not easy, but I felt on every step that I did in going deeper inside and feeling another pain and feeling another thing, I felt the joy and the thankfulness for it that I could, because I knew it's healing me and it's getting me closer and closer to God inside of me.
Yeah, perfect.
Because when we come really to the essence in ourselves, we are becoming aware we are part of God. We are divine.
Hold there a second. Because now you're branching into the second big chapter of the hero's journey. Thank you for that. It was beautiful laid out. Thank you. So many now need to hear this. It's so important. So thank you. Yeah. What you just opened the door to here at the end is the next step of the hero's journey. And that is the initiation. So sooner or later, when we go off to that journey, like you just explained so beautifully, we take care of all our traumas, everything, and we heal slowly. We slowly start to build up our self again, taking out all the trash.
Yeah, I want to add to this. At the moment, this healing process can go very fast.
Yep.
So it doesn't need to take you years, because at the moment there is so much grace and so much light and God, divine grace that wants us to heal. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah. Great. Because many might think, 30 years, I don't want to have to go 30 years of trauma work. But no, it's the old teachers. We who have been awakened very early and have gone through a long, tough journey, we can help other now to make that long journey short.
Exactly. Yes, yeah. Exactly.
So that's what I invite to with this conversation as well. So, okay, so the initiation. So now when we come to the point where we are healed, right? So now we have emptied our backpacks from the trauma and all the suffering and pain and sadness. Now we're freed, and then the next chapter happens, and that's called the initiation. And the initiation, I want to open the door to that. Maybe it's not for everybody to have a really strong Kundalini or spiritual awakening where you have a burning bush experience and you have direct contact with God and you communicate in a very, very powerful way. It happens to many of us, but for some it's more a gentle way. But even the gentle way wakes up the hero energy inside of us. So we go from being a victim in the system to being a hero in our life and a hero in the system. So can you please share with us your initiation moment?
It is difficult for me to put that in one moment. In my experience, for me personally, because I feel I had many moments of initiation in those 40 years. And it was all the time, it was like dying. I always tell my friends, I have died many times in this lifetime. So I know what it is to die. Mm. So, but it was for me, every time a new initiation into a new door opens. Mm. So and then let's say I came at the end of my healing journey, or I don't know if it's completely the end, but it is the end as I feel it of a big journey, healing journey, was that I came in touch with the support of a nice woman therapist, with the deepest pain that I still had in my heart. I could feel it for many years before that there was still something. I was so free. I have been feeling already for years very free. Then I'm talking about how long ago? 10 years ago, 8 years ago. So I came to this point of my deepest pain. And that was a pain that I had of a trauma of when I was 2 years old. It had to do with my father. And at that moment, I always had something difficult with my father. And at that moment, I felt this pain. I was finally again allowing myself to feel this deep pain, because we create so many walls in ourselves, separate. So it was still there. All the other things were free. And then I went through this, falling into the pain so deep, and so deep I was at the same time feeling the connection with my father. And he was still alive at that moment. And that was so beautiful at the same time. It was, I was crying, and it was so deep, and it was so beautiful, because I felt at the bottom, I felt to the bottom in myself, to God. I really felt I didn't feel alone anymore. I felt really in the deepest, darkest bottom of myself, one with God and one with everything, and so in love with my father. And I could thank him for the traumas he had given me, because through this I was able to become awakened, to become so deeply aware, and learn to give up my own force, and separating. So my father was my big mirror in this life, and so I'm in unbelievable love with my father since then. And so that was, I think that was the last big moment of initiation for me. As I said, I had already other moments. So I was already also working beautifully as a teacher and artist. And because I knew my mission, I told you, I was very clear about my mission 40 years ago. And steps by steps, I was being able to create more and a deepening, from a deepening love feeling of my mission. So it was for me a combination of both all the time. It was not that one moment and bang. That was the first, the one moment that was for me a big moment. I make the decision, go out of the system, and I go for my heart. And then the last one that I can feel back to is that I just described. And after that, since then, I feel so free and so much in love with myself. And I've learned in the last 10 years so much about what it means to really, truly love myself and taking care. Because when you love yourself, then you can truly love everything, and the people, the other people. You first have to love yourself, and then you can really deeply love. It's just flowing then.
All right. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing your journey there. Okay, so now on the hero's journey, we come to a big part of the journey, and that is what Joseph Campbell called facing the dragon. And facing the dragon has two big dimensions to explore. And it's the inner dimension, our fears, what we are scared to do. And as long as we let the fear win, we hold back an energy that wants the best for us. So to overcome that is so crucial, especially now in this time where the fear mongering and the fear propaganda it has never been as full on as it is right now.
Yes.
So can you please talk about this subject, about how you overcome fear? That when you have gone through this initiation and you now are so filled, you're healed and you're so filled with love, it's actually, let's do this. Before we do that, you need courage to do things. You have to muster up a lot of courage and then you can do it, right?
Yes.
However, after the healing, you don't need courage anymore. It's kind of a relief. You just want to do this. So can you speak about that? How the fear comes out in a whole different way?
Yes, I have had this question about courage before, you know, and I must say that I was always, also as a little child, I was courageous. I was a rebellion, a rebel. So I was feeling truth, and I was, you know, I was just doing what I felt was right. And so courage is not such a big thing for me, of course. And I have been doing a lot of things with courage, no, with fear. When I had earlier days, when I had fear and I knew I was going to do something that is part of my beautiful mission, and I had fear, and I really went for it with the fear. That's one step. So, and then I always experienced, wow, beautiful, when you don't let yourself being hold back through fear. Wow, then you can really create your mission, or you create beautiful things in life, that what feels right. So, but yes, as you described, now I'm becoming aware that it has nothing to do anymore with courage for me. Yeah, that's true. It's just, I know I go for love, and I am very sensitive if something is true or not, because truth, I forgot to tell that on the hero's journey. That's a big key for me, has been to have such a great love for truth. So truth, the love for truth was the truth inside myself and the truth out there. And so I do a lot of research in the internet all the time the last year. So I know a lot, I have a lot of deep insights of how the world has been functioning and what is behind all that and why it is that it is. So I know it's unbelievable how we got fooled. We got fooled that things were life, or that in society has been presented to us as doing things for the good, the governments, the people doing things for our good wellness, but it's the opposite. It's the opposite, and that's what I found out already many years ago. And that's so I have to talk about this, and I share this, and I have to find ways that people can take it, you know, because you cannot be too confronting, because then the doors close. People, I don't know if this is going into the way you want an answer of me.
Well, if you could pause there for a second, because this is beautiful. And yes, you're welcome to just open up here and speak your truth, because truth is what we're on. We're truth seekers. And the sooner the truth comes out, the sooner we will be free. So the second part of that, facing the dragon, is in the hero's journey that Joseph Campbell explained. In the mythology, there is this hero who takes his sword and he slays the dragon, chopping off the head of the dragon. Now, in that story, what happens to the dragon? Well, 3 more heads comes out of the dragon. So the old, call it Viking brutality, taking the sword every time to win fights, it's not working here. This is a whole different beast, and this is the system that we're in. We, the little people, can't fight and win over this monster. They control everything. The media, the police, the military, the banking system, the politicians, everything, and even the courts. So we're under a system that we can't win with that force. We need to use love and wisdom. So please talk to us about what you were just branching into.
Yes, with all the knowledge and research I've done, it's very clear that all the heads of the dragons, they are gone. They have already taken off. That has happened in the last, especially in the last 5 years when Mr. T were in the United States. Yeah. So I have so much information that the powers that were behind the governments and all the things you just said, all the leaders, the powers behind it are gone. They have no power anymore. So the governments and the police and etc., they are all marionettes, and it's crumbling. It's crumbling. So I think people need to know from that it is not really powerful anymore. It is only still the power that we the people, the collective of the humanity, gives them. Because as soon as we take the power, our energy away from this system, and we go into love, and we go into the direction of what is fifth dimensional living in harmony with each other, then it's done. And we are very close to this. Yeah. And therefore it is so intense at the moment, because the governments, and I see it in Germany, it is unbelievable. Yeah. They are with the backs against the wall, and there is no way back. They have to do crazy things again. But it is all to wake up the people that this is still allowed to happen. Because with all the information that I got in the last 5-6 years is from channelings, from mediums, from very good, from other dimensions, from especially in the last 2 years, humanity is already free. You are free. It is like not me, but most people, the cage of the how is it called, the jail. We were in a jail, but the cage is out. The door is open, but nobody sees the open door, or most people don't see the open door. We are free, and it is just to make the right decisions. And so there is the beautiful thing that we also see in the whole world, that with all the tension that we have in the world, almost nowhere people are fighting. Demonstrations are peaceful. Most of them are peaceful. The people, not of the dark side, because they try to start fightings, but it seems that it is not working anymore. There is already so much awakened in the collective of humanity that it doesn't work anymore with wars and destructive demonstrations, and so it's all peaceful. Yeah. And so also, if you look at the United States, that what happened there with the elections, it is unbelievable, and people stay peaceful. So I tell this because we are now in a very exciting time of moment in time. We, as humanity, we don't realize it yet, but we are free. We are divinely inspired and pushed to go into love and harmony. There is no other way, because if you keep to that old way, that's the self-destruction. That's the way of self-destruction. And so that's the old system. It's like it's going at the moment. You have to choose this or that way. So the road of self-destruction, or you go the way of love, the path of love, self-love and self-care and self-responsibility. And that means you don't allow anybody outside of you anymore to tell you what is right for you. Not anymore. That is part of 5D. And that's what is happening at the moment. We are challenged to this decision. And so so of this hero's journey, the dragon is already, the heads are off. It's just the rest of the body is still moving without the power behind it.
Yeah. All right.
You know, the Vatican. So the powers that we had, the city of London with the money, Washington DC, and the Vatican, they are all gone. But it's still not so visible for people because the mainstream media is the last weapon that the dark side, that the old system has to keep the people into an illusion of fear and to keep them into that energy. And that is crumbling, and it is coming close. But I feel it's so hard at the moment. I feel tired of everything, and when I feel there is going to happen something very soon that is really gushing a bomb.
Yeah.
Because
I feel that too.
I can tell people that we're not able to do so much research. There are so many good people behind the scenes, military, etc., from all over the world that have worked for years for our freedom to really get rid of this dark system. So, and this work is all done, and then it is waiting now that this is going to come out. And so I see a beautiful future for us, but we stand on a crossroad, and everyone has now the decision to make. Are you still longer staying into the fear and follow that path? Are you going to get your body more self-destruction, getting something inside of you? No, it is not to take care of the illness, to prevent you from the illness. It is to make you sick and weak.
Yeah.
So that's how I see it at the moment.
Yeah. Thank you. Great. Okay. We could actually spin off.
Sorry, just to finish this off. So what I see that, yes, if you see the dragon that Joseph Campbell is talking about, that is really taken care of at the moment. It's really taken care of, and we are very close to breaking through into beautiful possibilities.
Yeah. Okay, so to just spin off what you just said there, I feel very similar with all the information I have gathered myself through all the networks that are like us on this topic, working on to free humanity.
Yes.
So we see, they say that the last card they will use is the fake alien invasion. So we will see if that will happen or not. Maybe not. Maybe we can stop it before.
I don't think so. I don't think it is working. They have tried, but I don't think so. It's beyond that already. That's my information.
Okay. Well. Yeah. We'll see. We're very close. We're in the end times, and
yes, it's really a war.
Yeah. What we know is that it will probably get a little bit more messy before it's completely over. But it's also, like you said, on one side, it is actually already over.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So now on the journey here, now when Joseph Campbell made this fantastic blueprint of the hero's journey, he didn't conceive that we would have this huge hero's journey with these monsters to face. It was a little lighter side. So the next step I have divided in two. The next step is that when we're done with our healing work and our fears, the lower aspect of our system, now we open up the solar plexus to our full power. So instead of being in victimhood, we're in our power, we're personal power. We have
connected with the heart.
We have opened our heart, we healed our heart, healed our traumas. Now the heart is open again, it dares to be open again. And then we are connected to our truth, so we speak our truth. We are also connected to the vision, the future vision, the best vision for us and the best vision for humanity, which is, like you said, we're here to create paradise on earth, right?
Yeah.
And we're connected to source, or crown chakra, which is the whole corona pandemic, to close our crown chakra. But when we do inner work, we open our crown chakra. So now we're connected. And now we raise our vibrations very high. So now we commit to much higher vibrations. And this is what Joseph Campbell called follow your bliss.
Yes.
And bliss is a very high state of being. And this is where we get goosebumps. This is where we get synchronicity into our life, where things just start to flow. And like you said, you don't have to worry about the money thing anymore, because you know that when you're on this path and you follow that inner guidance, things will just turn out perfectly for us. We're safe, we're home, right? So now what I mentioned with two blisses is that if we weren't in this situation, I know that your bliss is being an artist and musician, so it's obvious you have found your bliss, that's it. However, many of us have now been forced to put our bliss on hold, and another bliss have awakened, and that is to be a truth seeker and a truth teacher, speaking the truth now to save humanity from this amazing time. So please speak to us about your two blisses.
yeah, because I wanted really, when you talked about, to say that has been all the time, you know, I told about when I was 27 years old, more than 40 years ago, all the time that has been my guideline, my key. I want to follow my heart. And later I learned the other words, I want to follow my bliss, but it was the same for me. And so I learned to check every step on my way. Is this feeling good inside? Do I feel good? Do I feel stronger, or do I feel weak with the next? So that was my learning, my teaching. So that is the following the bliss with every step, everything you do in life. And now, following my bliss is, yes, in my music, in my art, I create spaces for our soul to really open up. So that is really blissful, because when we are in a loving, caring situation and open up to our soul dimension, and we do that with more people together in a concert, or it can also be a seminar, that's very blissful. But for me is bliss first of all a very personal thing, private, you know. I feel most of the time now in bliss, because it has become so natural in me. So it's not that I need to sing my music to feel blissful. But of course, when I do my music, when I do my live streams, tonight I have a live stream concert again, I get in such a high state of being. It's amazing. It's so beautiful, and people also feel that, because the music and being together in that space opens up this space, on this invitation for our soul to really, wow, yeah. So this feeling, yeah. So there are more aspects to feeling your bliss, yeah. So, and I think it's important that people that are still on the way to open themselves up, that to tell them, yes, also that can be small steps, you know, to feel the bliss, to go into nature, you know, make a beautiful trip in nature and feel, especially nature. And or if you do something that you really have joy from your heart, that's following your bliss. You know, it doesn't need always to be big things. But yes, I have, the thing is not that I do music and art, that is then becoming my bliss. No, the bliss is in it that I do in life now, also in my work, my devotion, is what my soul, what I from a soul level have decided for this lifetime to be my mission. Yeah. So I know I am in the middle of my mission, and that is blissful. Yeah. You know, and that can be talking with somebody like with you. That's blissful for me to be with you. That's fantastic. With a brother, the spirit is beautiful. That is so blissful. What we are doing at the moment. So that can be eating a beautiful cake. You know, everything. So, but the most important thing when we talk about bliss, it is, do I follow my soul's mission? Because I always say to people, I feel that every human being has inside himself this urge, this deep urge to express fully in this life his soul essence, his whole soul expression. And everyone has his own talents, his own interests. So, but that you can do it in connection with your soul, the soul through your heart, and that's such a deep longing in all human beings. And if this longing is not fulfilled, you get sick. Yeah, you get separated, you get in depression, and that's why the world was and is how it is. Yeah, because people are not following their soul heart mission, they are not following their bliss. Thank you, Joseph Campbell.
Thank you, Lex. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, you're so right. That's it. All right. So now we come to the third and last chapter of the hero's journey. And Joseph Campbell called it the return. So the return is that when the hero's been out on this grand adventure, healing himself, being initiated to that higher calling, starting his mission, and now it's time to come back to his tribe, where we left way back. And now we have a lot to share with our tribe, with our loved brothers and sisters. So in this time that we're in, it's also to understand that when we have the whole system talking about the dystopian future, and we are bombarded with that in the media since our childhood, we just see step by step how everything gets worse and worse and worse and worse. So now the hero in us has awoken to that it's not true. Things are actually getting better and better as well. So it's two timelines going on at the same time. One is wanting to create a dystopian future, which is the system and the leadership that we have had now for centuries. And the other one is all the light workers, all the heroes, and the universal source itself that are now turning up the energies, turning up the light, and are coming to this point in time, which is so beautiful, so crucial, and this is the return. Can you please talk to us about the return?
You mean from a personal perspective?
You can, well, both are very important. So I think it's good that you start with yourself, your return, that you have now come to this point, that you have become a teacher of what's going on the planet. It's not enough. Like I said, we have two blisses. One bliss is the artist in you. The other one is the awakened teacher in you about the big thing going on.
Yes. Well, it brings me on a few things. In the last 10 years, but especially in the last 6-7 years, when I got so much information that I knew already for 40 years that there will come a point in I will experience it in my life, that on the planet there will become a great chaos and a great awakening. So I knew that for many years. But I didn't know when and how. And so for 5-6 years, I knew we are very close, very close. It's going to happen. So at that moment, I followed a few fantastic channelings from some really high quality. And the message came to me, you light workers of the first hour, you have done your part. It's done. The light has won. The light has already won. That was for 6-7 years, 5 years. The light has won, and it still has to work itself out on the planet with chaos and everything. And you have done your part. You can relax. And I had a deep moment. I was so deeply touched, and I felt how tired my soul was and is from my whole life. I have worked so hard and fighted for the truth and for a spiritual awakening, not only for myself but also for the world. And it was such a relief that I felt also the message, I can now relax and just relax and wait. And I felt the last 5-6 years, most of the time I was in waiting modus. I was working, but I was waiting because I knew people, the masses have to wake up in some way. And then we got this whole thing last year, and then it was clear for me, finally it's happening. Of course it's not easy, but it's happening now. So what was your question?
Well, it's to speak about the subject, about the return, that
yes,
we are many heroes now that have done this whole journey, and we have come to a point where we're so filled with the vision, where the understanding, the teacher of the new era. Exactly.
So also for 6-7 years, I felt in myself so clearly fifth dimension. I was all the time in a fifth dimensional state, which wasn't connecting much with the world around me. And then I started to become aware, because of information I got, that this is what we are going to do. The world is going to change into this higher dimension. And then, and that has been my mission up till now, to be part of that, to get the world consciousness to that level that we can do it, that I have played my part in it, and that when this is through, the coming years, there will come, my mission will start from a much deeper level. I will be able, and you too, because I feel that you too and other light workers, we know paradise. We know how it is, and I always knew it. So, and wow, we are going for it. We are going to create this.
I get goosebumps right now, tingling over my whole body, and I just feel the truth. Yes.
Yes. So that that is also a return for me. You know, I have, you know, I had, as I said, the last 5 years, I really took it easy. I didn't work so hard, and I was waiting, and I was getting researching all the time, researching what is happening in the world. So, and now I feel a new time is coming. It's coming very soon. The next coming weeks and months, a lot is going to happen to break it through.
Yeah.
And in this year, a lot is going to be cleared. So and then from, I have really confirmation from higher forces now that from March next year, the new Earth is going to start. So up till that time, we have time to clear this chaos in its most rough form. That is what is happening. And from next year, we are going to help people. We are the ones that are going to know, to guide people what it means to live in this new dimension, the fifth dimension of love and harmony, to create paradise on earth. Yeah. And that is going to start, because all the things that are needed for that, all the structures and things, they are already there. They are all prepared. We will get free energy. We will get the quantum financial system, etc. New medical systems. So it's all there. It's just waiting for the moment that's going to open up. So, yeah, is that a return? Yes, it's also a return. But yeah, I had a few returns on my way. Yeah, but especially from that moment, that was a big initiation for me, that I told you, with my the pain, the trauma. Yes. After that, I felt so free, and I felt, yes, I can be there for everyone in society, and I can talk my truth, and there's no fear, no nothing. It's just from love coming. So I am returned. Yes, I'm returned. For 42 years, I pulled myself back out of it. And that was for maybe 5 or 10 years. I was really out of it. And then slowly I found my way to find my mission, to follow my mission, and at the same time be in society. So I found always ways to return, to be returned. Yeah. So it was not one big moment for me. But now we are in a very big moment that I just described. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. So now we come the full journey, and I like to summarize it at the end and end on a high note. Actually, you can decide if you want to, like when you play or create your music, some music, they are meant to come down and ground us and just leave us there. Some are in the middle, just to have a nice relaxing note. And then some has that to leave us in a happy note. And I think we should leave it on a happy note, right? So I like you to just share, this is like a birthing for humanity, to come back to our true self, and to come back to that dream that we all have in our hearts and desires, and that to come to this world was meant to come to heaven on earth. And we are on our way there. So with this bombardment of the propaganda of a dystopian future, we need to counteract with a vision of the bright heaven on earth vision. That paradise is coming. You just open up the door for it. And I'd like you to just share some nice advice that are easy steps to take of this last chapter of the darkness and the light in that last fight here going on, which might become very tough for a lot of people. But if we can just have the knowing and the hope inside that everything will be all right, I think we could save a lot of people and make that last piece of the process much nicer. So yes. Can you please speak to that at and end with a high note? Yeah, what comes to mind is that it's all about self-love, loving, learning to love yourself, And if there are things in your life that you are doing that doesn't feel right, do not feel right, then start to make decisions. Take the responsibility. You have the responsibility yourself, nobody else, to take care of yourself, that you can be in love with yourself, with life, every moment in time. So that can mean at the moment for many people that they have to leave their job, or that they have to take their children from the school system, or that they, very tough decisions, or that they don't take this, although the whole family say, it's not easy, but that's the way. If you want to go into a life in paradise, you have to take responsibility of yourself, take care of yourself, heal yourself, and love yourself. That's the entrance fee, the entrance card to it. So yes, and now is the time to make these decisions and take this responsibility for yourself in love and for your dearest near you. This is the moment in time. It will open all the doors for you. And so, at the same time, it means to take your energy away from this old dark system that wants to keep you in fear. So we are being told also from our spirit guides through channelings and so all the time, don't put energy anymore, no focus anymore of all this dark stuff and what they are trying to tell us, and fear and this and this. No, take your energy away and do beautiful things. Go in nature, listen to beautiful music, sing, or do things that keep you into a high spirit. So, but you have to do it yourself. Everyone has to take care of himself, take responsibility for himself in love. And so the world can change much easier in the direction we want. So, and yes, it's coming, because as I said, the light has already won. It's just waiting for us till we take the steps in taking care of ourselves in love, and that we take our energy away of what the governments want of us. The mainstream media tries to tell us to see the lies and go away, to be aware of it, to know what's happening, but don't give it energy. That's very, very important at the moment, that you don't give the lower energy, pulling fear, that you give it energy. Be in a high spirit. So that's what we practice in my live streams, for example, two times a week, live directly. I am with 500-600 people, and we feel the connection with each other in such a high energy, and people can hold it, and it's also for me myself, it's beautiful. So it is important to do things and to be together with people that keep you and bring you in a high spirit.
Yeah, beautiful. Brother Lex, thank you so much for what you have shared today. Beautiful. Thank you for who you are. Thank you for all that you do, and thank you for all that you will do.
And thank you too, for the same reasons, Björn. I really feel you're a wonderful spirit, and you do wonderful work. Nice to work with you together.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I will leave links down here underneath the video to your live streams and your other work and all your beautiful music. So I leave links to your music library as well, so people can fuel up on spiritual and soul music. So also I will also let people know that I will also create other videos for healing work and yin and yang yoga work. I practice body mastery, and I will do a few videos here with Lex beautiful music. So that's also coming up. So super thank you for today, Lex, and we will make this a nice end process of the old system and go into this new era all together and start to work together to create this paradise on earth.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for you who have been with us here today. So until we see each other again, take good care and just be connected to that higher vision, your higher spirit, and see the best happen. All right. Take care.
Bye-bye.